It is time to monetize your big idea. Join us on the 29th to the 31st of August in Hollywood. Become a leader in your category. Change the rules of the game. Change your struggles into confidence, your abilities into possibilities, your challenges into opportunities. Change the things you don't like. All you need is within you. It is time to monetize your big idea. Connect with your ideal clients, attract media attention, share your passion, speak on stage, walk the red carpet on the 29th to the 31st of August in Hollywood. Be the masterpiece. Get your ticket today at www.SpeakonRadio.com. Be seen, be heard, be present. Welcome back. It's Sarah here in LA. I've taken a break from London. And with me, co-hosting today is Kanani all the way from Hawaii. I would so love to go to Hawaii. So Kanani, I may be speaking to you off air since I'm so close. Probably I'm closer than I've ever been.
Well, you should come closer.
Most definitely.
Hawaii is wonderful.
Yeah, so come. I'm sure the whole world and, friends, listeners, you can correct me. We all believe Hawaii is the best place in the world. I do.
Oh,
I've always dreamt about it, and I think I'm going to reality. And actually, many years ago, many years ago, I wanted to there's a school there. There's a specialist school there that I actually wanted to join. This is almost like 20 years ago. So there's still time. Back to business. This is how much I've dreamt about Hawaii.
That's amazing, because I'm actually working on business curriculum for Hawaii. So, if that was 20 years ago, maybe you can come over when it actually is time for everything to be built together for Hawaii. We'll see what we can do.
I know I can be a contributor. I'm sure, Eva, I haven't learned so much about business and I've worked with young people, how we can help the next generation in the last 20 years. Okay, I need to change what I do. And we're going to basically go back into what you previously before we had a break about in terms of attracting ideal clients online, because it's very different to when you can have when you're eyeballing somebody, they're sitting across the room, across the desk, or you're having coffee. It's very easy to feel and to sense the person, because we mentioned about religion, but the reality is this fact proven that we are more spiritual than physical, right? And when we chat, we don't sense. It's not, because obviously you will have scanned the person physically in the first 2 seconds, right? But we're looking for something deeper, and that's kind of the spiritual side of the person that we're trying to sense, we're trying to feel. And we'll say, something doesn't feel right, I'm not quite sure. So we do feel quite a lot, right? When you're chatting to people online that you've never met, right? How do you overcome that? How do you get that same kind of feel, that kind of sense of I can work with you? Or you mentioned about how text and things that we write can be taken out of context.
That's everyone has their own systems that they teach. In one company that I was with, they taught us, only scripts, because certain people that can write scripts can actually word it out psychologically to get the other client's brain to actually work well. Other people, in another company, I learned to be yourself and look at the profile and see if what you're viewing is the type of person that you really want to connect with. And that is one part that I saw very beneficial, because when you're adding a friend, whether it's Facebook, Twitter, or whatever their postings are, as much as you can view their profile prior to adding them as a friend, it actually already shows you what type of person they are. Even if you don't see anything on their profile, or even just one picture, it shows that they like their privacy. So you can gauge a lot of different things from what you're seeing. It's just all about trying to perceive what you are seeing. Then when you add them onto your contact list, looking at all of their postings, who they are, what they're about, before even engaging in a conversation actually would help you to find the commonalities. Do you have anything in common with the person? Is there something of interest? What do they like? What are things that they've clicked on? Their history? Different things like that can help you guide the conversation even before you start the conversation. And I've had very good conversations with people that have actually friended me out of the blue. And I'm thinking to myself, oh my goodness, who is this person? I don't even have mutual friends with you. So I have to look at the profile.
Yeah.
So when I look at the profiles of everybody that does that, I look, okay, maybe it's because that person's very entrepreneurial. I'm looking at their background, their degree, or whatever else. Okay, I have that common interest with them. And then a lot of times I've actually gotten some of those instant, hey, thanks for the ad. I want to just say I was looking at yours, and so they're actually looking at me too. And I'm thinking, oh, okay,
yes,
I'm not the only one looking at them. And so,
but because before they send you a friend request, they will have looked. They will have seen something. And this is what we're talking about, attraction marketing, right? Attracting ideal clients. That before they send you that friend request, they will have looked at your profile, and there'll be something that they would have seen that makes them think, I need to connect to this person.
Right.
So it's
and then you just keep going from there, and then starting out the conversation as just a normal friend. Hey, I'm getting to know you, and just state what your interest is or what you found to be common in the profiles. That usually gauges a very good conversation online. If you do anything outside of that, the person might think you're weird or stalking them or something like that, So it definitely is about finding commonalities online. And the way that something can be taken out of context is if you are trying to, if you're asking too much questions in the beginning without even knowing them. I've had some people ask, well, that's kind of a personal question. Why would you ask that kind of a deal? In getting to know someone. So it takes a lot of, I would say maybe just common sense in just meeting someone. Would you want somebody to ask you that question, in person or online? Would you feel comfortable, and how comfortable would it be for the other person if they're just meeting you? And then being able to gauge that conversation based on their answers. So it takes a lot of mentality to really be careful, not cautious, but careful. Be caring about the person. Know that you probably don't want them probing, and they don't want you probing. So you gotta be just careful on how you build that conversation and see what sparks. If you have one thing in common or one thing that really sparks and the person can't stop talking about it, then you found some way. That has attracted them to you and you to them. That, I think, is where now you've got a connection. Now you've got somewhere to go. Now you can say, I would love to work with you, and then see where it goes from there. But it definitely takes a lot more skill than it is in person. Just because you're in person, you can see the person talking, their body motions and everything. Body motions, when you're in person, it actually helps you to understand what the person might be feeling as opposed to what they're actually saying. So in a conversation online, they might be saying one thing, but their body motions might be hesitant. So you gotta kind of feel it out. Yeah. Anything you want to add there? Go ahead.
No. I was gonna say it's what I say, sort of on my personal experience, and I have done a lot of training on attraction marketing and attracting ideal clients, especially online, because as I say to everyone, because there are people who, for all sorts of reasons, very resistant to social media and being online and being visible. But the reality is this: I think I heard some statistics that say that sort of, I don't know, something like crazy, like in US, about like 94% of adults, right, are basically, they will be on social media, on any of those platforms. And I remember to people, I said, well, if you're looking for your ideal client, you're looking for clients full stop, right? They will be online somewhere, because if 94% of adults are using social media, you'll find them on Facebook, on LinkedIn, you find them on Twitter, you find them on Instagram, and all these other different platforms. And you're not there. At some point, there will be such a great divide between how you attract your clients face-to-face through networking. That nothing ever beats like kind of that whole face-to-face. But if 94% of your clients are online, you need to get yourself online, and you need to understand how the whole kind of online attraction and marketing and connecting with people works. And I've had all sorts of experiences, especially on Facebook, right? And because I normally say nowadays it's only on sort of social media that basically stalking is legal. Cyber stalking is almost legal. And there will be people who will be connecting with you for all the wrong reasons. And as you said, by within the first kind of question, 2 questions, you will know whether it's actually a business connection or whether really somebody's interested in what you're doing, or basically they're just cyber stalking. And obviously there's a little button called block. So because I think a lot of people are sure about how to connect with do business online because of this kind of stories or this kind of behavior that you find online that you wouldn't necessarily find when you're kind of just doing face-to-face, when you're networking, when you're going to event. You may not necessarily experience that because, as you say, you can read the body language straight away. You know that's a no-go and it's just for the wrong reasons, right? But online is slightly different. And there are people who are totally put off. And it's actually to say, if you have a business, large, small, entrepreneur, startup, you need to be online because digital is here to stay. And the kind of social media platforms are here to stay. But it's understanding and knowing how to work it so it actually works for you, and how to have those conversations, how to profile people, because also again there are people who post out there as real people, but they're not, they're cloned profile. But as you say, it's like, how do you profile a person? How do you profile a person using, let's say for Facebook, if you went through my Facebook, I've got loads of videos, I have loads of content. Some things are just kind of almost my personal post, like pictures, and you'll probably be able to profile who I am through my Facebook account. And a lot of people are like that. A lot of people do have their things as private, but most of the people who are doing business and they're open, they will have an open account. And that's another way of doing it. And also in terms of how you direct conversations, what is it that you're looking for? Would you like to be on radio? Next week, we have the Authors Award ceremony. Kanani, you're going to be there. And there's going to be a lot of entrepreneurs. We're going to have the press. We're going to have like movie producers. We're going to have Louise Harrison and other guests that kind of really high profile guests. And it's a different place